Another GMT 800 to GMT 400 center console conversion update. It's been 2 days since the last update. Spent the better part of yesterday kind of getting my bracket made and mocked up, and it was trial by fire. It's in place, kind of. I've only got was able to keep a good chunk of the original mounting bracket out of the O2 Tahoe. Those two bolts are in right now, nice and tight. These two are lined up, and you'll see it in a second because I'll quickly pull it apart and kind of fill you in on what I plan on doing today. The console bracket kind of slopes downhill to the back seat, and as it stands now, these bolts that mount the console to its original bracket, they're just not quite long enough to reach. The front two are, but the back two aren't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to alleviate that by next time I'm in town grabbing longer versions of these bolts, and then they'll push through. They're lined up with the holes. It's hard to see. They're lined up perfect, but not sure if I'll get longer bolts. What I might do is the console itself, and it's hard to see in the truck. I think the base needs trimmed to account for the slope of the transmission tunnel and the slope from front to back. So I might be able to achieve getting these set in by trimming some of the bottom away. I've seen that in like 2 or 3 of the videos that exist on YouTube, and then that would make this distance shorter and let these bolts grab. I'm gonna probably try that today, because I have to be in town anyway tomorrow, and I don't want to make a trip if I don't have to. Let's take it apart quick, and I'll kind of explain what I did. Oh yeah, this didn't stick. For that front block off plate, it popped loose yesterday after handling the console, taking it in and out several times, getting it mocked up. There was an asterisk on the Gorilla Glue packaging about plastic. I knew it was a roll of the dice, so I'll get something different and we'll get that to stick. Worst case scenario, we'll pop a rivet in each corner and paint them up, and no one will see them. That's the absolute worst case scenario. So let's take these bolts out. Might have to slot my original holes just a little bit. It's okay. Take these out, put these in the cup holder, and then we'll actually put these up on the dash for now. We'll tip this back, and then you can be able to see what I did. So from here up is the pieces of the original GMT 800 center console mounting bracket. These 4 bolts are where the console attaches to the original bracket. If you remember, it was sloped down to attach on those 99 to 06 trucks to the seat mounting locations and the seat belt mounting locations. So what I did was I cut it pretty well, cut them pretty well off entirely, and was able to get this sit flat against the floor. And then my other concern was I didn't want to drill into the floor of the truck. I wanted to live within the existing mounting bolts. So what I did was, this piece here was part of the original center console mounting bracket on the GMT 400. What I ended up doing, we'll bust this loose, still not finished yet. I just mocked everything up after doing what I was hoping was my final cutting and welding to make a bracket so everything can live within the existing holes of the truck. Pop these out. Now that we know everything's going to fit, we'll take this out of the truck. So yeah, what I did was, this was part of the original center console, and I took a leftover piece from this bracket, and then cut it and welded it into the original center console mounting bracket on the backside last night. I had to weld it from the back because I'm running short on cutoff wheels, and again, I'm trying to do what I can without buying extra material, just making do with materials I've got. So I welded that in last night, and then this morning I measured this, lined it up, and then I tacked it together with a series of tacks a little bit ago. Don't judge my welding skills. It's, I wouldn't say it's a lack of skills. It is old equipment. It's an early 90s Miller Sidekick 100 regular wall outlet, 110, 120 with some C25 gas. Tacked it in a few spots after I marked it, and then what you just saw was me hoping these 4 mounting locations would line up. You can see what I meant by trial by fire. I drilled several holes yesterday to try to find the sweet spot for that center console to fit. I started here, realized I was too far back, and I just kind of kept working my way backwards. What I ended up doing was, it was actually pretty clever by GM. They riveted, you can see where the rivets are at, that back bracket, and then that front bracket was here, and that actually was kind of a lifesaver. It allowed me to locate, I used that front bracket, and I was allowed me to locate those 2 holes, so I didn't have to measure. They were always equidistant between each other. But you can tell I kind of hacked it up until I found the sweet spot to where everything could attach, and where I feel like the console best sit in the truck. Probably not gonna plug weld these back together. No one's ever gonna see them besides me. I will probably end up giving this a coat of black paint eventually. That's for the ground clamp for the welder. Same thing here. I had to ground clamp and clean metal. Ground clamp, clean metal. So I will, I'm gonna might throw a couple more welds in here, and then hit them with the flap disc or the die grinder, kind of knock those welds down, and then tomorrow pick up some paint when I'm in town and start painting this. For the rest of the day, you can see what I mean by why the console wants to wiggle around a little bit. It needs trimmed so it fits a little bit better in the truck. Kind of flip them upside down, you can actually kind of see what I mean here. That's the original back to front. Same general slope, but I think what I need to do is grab some tape and then kind of notch it down, and then just follow this line with the Dremel and kind of bring it together. Few cuts at a time is the plan. I screenshotted a video I saved yesterday. It's better to take too little off instead of too much, and then we'll just kind of keep test fitting it until I can eliminate some wobble, and hopefully it sits down a little tighter. I definitely think I need to bring this down and notch it out just ever so slightly, but I got to be careful with those tabs. So anyway, we'll throw this video up here in the next day or two, but making progress.